Hello, welcome to my channel. I am Amber and this is Amber's Books and More, and today I have a contemporary-a-thon TBR. Let's jump right in and get started. So Contemporary-a-thon is a readathon that is hosted by Julie at Pages and Pens, Natasha at My Reading is Odd, Chelsea over at Chelsea Dolan Reads, and Melanie from Mel to the Any, who has a booktube channel now but is mostly running the Instagram portion of this. But I will leave all the links down below, including all the booktube channels, all of the Instagram pages, as well as the Contemporary-a-thon Instagram page that they've created for this. They're doing some really fun, awesome giveaways, so definitely check out their announcement videos if you want to get involved in some giveaways for this readathon. But now here, what we all here for is my TBR. So let's just get started. So the first challenge is actually to read your most acquired contemporary book, and for this I have two. I actually have two books that were recommended to me by Julie over at Pages and Pens. I asked her what are good books, you know, to read for contemporary, to get out of reading slumps, that kind of thing. And she suggested both of these. So one of these will get read. I'm not sure yet which one. So I'm just going to put them both in here. And I just bought them the other day. So the first one is The Anatomical Shape of a Heart by Jen Bennett. So this book is basically about a girl that loves to draw and wants to get into this hospital program to draw cadavers. But as she's trying to sneak her way in, she actually misses the train back to, you know, her house or whatever, and she meets this graffiti artist that kind of throws her whole summer upside down, and things spiral from there. So this one definitely looks intriguing. Then the second one I just bought is Roomies by Christina Lauren. So this is a new adult kind of contemporary book, and it's about this girl and guy that have to get fake married, and they become kind of roomies, and things of course spiral from there. So that whole like fake relationship, fake marriage, I love that trope. So I know I will really love this one. But this is, I'm not sure yet which, because they both sound so good, I'm not sure yet which one I want to read, but I'll figure it out as the week goes on. So challenge number 2 is of course to read a book with blurple on the cover. So what is blurple? Blurple is basically either one color, a mixture of blue and purple, or it can be blue or purple, or it could be a combination of just blue and purple on the cover. But when I heard this challenge, I immediately knew which book I wanted to read, because it's one that I've had on my shelf since Christmas. It was a gift, and I really want to get to it, and it is to me the definition of the word blurple, and that is Radio Silence by Alice Oseman. So Radio Silence is basically about a girl that loves this podcast, and she's kind of, you know, a studier, kind of quiet, but she draws fan art for this podcast. And then there's this quiet boy that no one would actually know is the creator of the podcast, and so whenever he asked her to collaborate with him to get some fan art, things just kind of go from there. And so I'm really excited about this one, and it's definitely blurple, and I absolutely love it. So the third challenge is to read a diverse contemporary, which is always one of the Contemporary-a-thon challenges, and it is one of my favorites, especially considering this month is Black History Month. I've decided to pick up Pride by Evie Savoy. So this is actually the Owl Crate exclusive edition. So Pride is a Pride and Prejudice retelling following all black characters. So basically there's a girl that lives in a Brooklyn neighborhood that is poor, and this rich family moves in and decide that they want to start cleaning it up and gentrifying it, and she has too much pride for her neighborhood to let that happen. So it kind of follows, you know, the Pride and Prejudice type of storyline with that. But I'm really excited. I've heard actually really good things about this one, and so I for sure am going to get to this one during the Contemporary-a-thon. So the fourth challenge is to read a dark and taboo contemporary. Now most of the time I read a thriller when it comes to these, because I have so many on my TBR that I get from Book of the Month. But for this round, I actually wanted to pick up one that I was urged to read by Julie from Pages and Pens, and that is All the Ugly Wonderful Things by Bren Greenwood. So this tells a story about a little girl that is basically in really bad situations in her home with her parents and everything, and this older man, he's in his 20s, I believe, at the beginning of this, and she's a lot younger. I'm not quite sure how young, but he kind of comes in and tries to save her and helps her out, and then eventually there's some feelings that get started, and it's very taboo in the fact that it's a much older man with a much younger woman. But I've heard this one is really hard-hitting as well, and that also fits in with this. It's, you know, dark, taboo, hard-hitting kind of contemporary. So I definitely am nervous to get to this one, but I'm looking forward to it as well, which is weird. The fifth challenge is to read a book that you meant to get to in 2018. So if you watched any of my old videos, I kind of quit filming, but in the month of October I was actually doing a BFF Picks My TBR where Julie from Pages and Pens picked my entire TBR for the month. I never filmed a wrap up to that, but it actually went really well. But there was one book that was on there that I wasn't able to get to, and that was This Adventure Ends by Emma Mills. This is one of her absolute favorite books, and it's one of the most beautiful books I have on my shelf, so I definitely want to get to it. It also has some blurple, so it could double up on challenges as well. But this is a story about a girl that has to move to a new state, like across country, and she kind of becomes friends with this group of kids that are like a little bit richer. One of them is a social media star, and then a painting goes missing, and then they have to try to figure out what happened to that. And of course, it seems really cute from what I've heard Julie talk about it, so I'm excited to get to this one, and I feel bad that it's taken me so long to get to this one. But this one is a definite, I think, for Contemporary-thon. Where some of the other ones are like, maybe. This one is a definite. The sixth challenge is to read a book in a alternative format. So a lot of people choose graphic novels, or if they only read physical, they'll do an ebook, or they'll do an audio book, whatever. Usually I do read poetry. Most of the time I like the poetry that is fiction, so like the Poet X and things in like Jason Reynolds, things like that. But for this round, I've actually decided to pick up just an old-fashioned, not old-fashioned, but a modern poetry collection. And the one I have is Please Don't Go Before I Get Better. This is by Madison Kuhn. So this is kind of modern in the fact that, you know, it's short modern poetry and there are some drawings inside of it. I know a lot of people don't like modern poetry. I do actually really enjoy modern poetry, and this one is about a girl that struggles with mental health, and this is kind of her poetry collection. So I'm really looking forward to this one. I'm probably going to read this one slowly throughout the entire week on top of the other books so that I can really take time to ingest the poems. But I am looking forward to it, and I've had this one on my shelf for a while, and I'm excited to finally get to it. The final challenge, challenge number 7, is actually a really cool one that I think I'm really excited about. I know that's weird, but it is to read a book that has a picture on the spine. They're going through my shelves, you know, in my contemporary section. There are actually a ton of books that have pictures on the spine. But the one I'm going to do is one that I've been wanting to get to for a very long time, and that is Behind Her Eyes by Sarah Pinborough. And so it has a picture of the eye here on the spine. This one I've heard is really good. I've heard so many people rave about this one, and I wanted to get to it. So this basically tells a story about a girl that is kind of stuck in a rut, and so she decides to go out and just have a good time and drink at a bar. She meets a guy there, and they kind of hit it off and make out. As far as I know, they only kiss. I'm not sure. I mean, I haven't read it yet. But so anyway, so when she goes back to work on Monday, she has a new boss, and it happens to be the guy that she met at the bar, and he happens to also bring his wife along to meet everybody. And so that kind of unravels a mystery, and things happen from there. I've heard such good things about this. I'm so excited about this, and I really cannot wait to get to this. This will probably be honestly one of the first ones that I begin to read in the week because I'm so excited about it. Okay, so this is my entire TBR. There are 8 books, but only technically 7 because I just haven't decided between these 2 bottom ones yet. So I'm really excited to get to have a really great reading week because I needed it. I have been in a reading slump for a few months now. I think that, you know, for December, I think I only read like 3 books. I think in January I read 1 book. And in February now I've read 2 books so far. So it's getting a little bit better, but I just need to break out of the slump. So I don't know if I'm going to be doing daily vlogs, but I may do one overall weekly vlog. I'm not sure yet. But yeah, definitely check back here for a reading wrap up at the end of the week regardless. And we'll see how many of these books I can actually get through amidst a reading slump. We shall see. But if you like this video, go ahead and give me a thumbs up and subscribe. And yeah, have a great day wherever you are. And I love you. Bye.